Hello, it's Business English Paris, and it is Friday, and I am so stressed out that I need a glass of wine because one of my students just basically fired off a question: how do I identify the main idea on the Toeic exam? And I was like, you know what? I have no idea. Let me have a glass of wine and think about that and get back to you. So that's sort of what I'm doing right now. Main idea. Okay, so how do you find the main idea? That's a good question. That is a good question. Let me see if I can figure that out for you. So the main idea is, now how do you find the main idea? I would say for the pictures, which will be the first part of the TOEIC exam usually. There are about 20 questions on pictures, I think. You want to look for the big picture, right? You want to look at what is sort of the overriding issue going on in this picture. You know, you want to go from the specifics to sort of more the general, not too much details, just sort of putting them all together and what is the overall idea in this picture. That's the main idea for the picture section in section 1. I think in section 3 or part 3, where you have I think the short conversations, you want to think about what is the sort of the general discussion about, right? Again, you don't want to be too specific in terms of any answer that is just very, very specific about one of the characters who are speaking, or one little item of detail is probably going to be the wrong answer, right? You want to think about en gros, globalement. What are they talking about? And you want to also, I would say, avoid sort of jumping to too many crazy conclusions with the main idea and sort of adding your own facts, and overthinking it too much. I think that is a mistake. Just sort of ask yourself, in the aggregate, what's going on in this picture, right? That's I think as simple as I can explain the main idea for the pictures and for the short conversations. Now, in the reading comprehension part, my experience is that the main idea is usually stated often explicitly in the first paragraph, or even the first sentence of the first paragraph. Not necessarily 100% of the time, but I would say that 95% of the time. Okay, so any question having to do with main idea for the reading comprehension part, which is quite an extensive part of the exam, you are definitely going to be looking for the answer in the first paragraph, first sentence, something like that. And sometimes you have to sort of infer it and put it together, because it may not, the choices of the answer may not be exactly how it's stated in the paragraph, but en gros, on a whole, overall, it will be the same thing. It will be synonymous, right? So that's the main idea for the TOEIC exam. You're looking for big picture, general ideas. Don't overthink it. Don't add your own facts. And for the reading comprehension, you're looking at the first paragraph, the first sentence of the first paragraph quite often, to sort of like pull it out and say, okay, that's the right answer, right? But don't forget that you're not penalized for wrong answers on the TOEIC. So if you absolutely don't know the answer, I mean, just guess. Just guess. I mean, no, that doesn't necessarily prove your English proficiency level. But if it's a question where you need to pass a TOEIC exam for a job, or something like that. Don't fail the exam just because you're not absolutely sure and you don't want to pick the wrong answer. It's okay to take a guess if you don't know what the answer is. There are, I think, 7 parts, I think, to the Toeic exam. It's a 2-hour exam, and you have the pictures, you have questions and responses, short conversations, short talks, incomplete sentences, error recognition, and then the reading comprehension part, which is 40 questions. So, altogether, it's 2 hours, and main idea is definitely going to be factoring significantly into all those sections. So you definitely need to keep that in mind. Main idea, big picture idea, overall view, overview, general, not too specific. And with reading comprehension, you're looking for that thesis sentence at the beginning of the paragraph, or you're looking for the first paragraph. Somewhere in there, you're putting your main idea together.